What do parables teach about using resources for God's glory? Have you ever wondered how stories from long ago can guide us in managing our resources today? Parables in the Bible provide timeless lessons on using what we have for God's glory. They teach us that being good stewards of our resources is essential in honoring God and fulfilling our roles as caretakers of His gifts. God entrusts each of us with various resources, including money, time, skills, and opportunities. He expects us to use these gifts wisely and productively. At the heart of stewardship is the understanding that God is the ultimate owner of everything. Our role is to manage what He has given us with integrity and intention. Take the parable of the talents from the book of Matthew. In this story, a master gives his servants different amounts of money based on their abilities. 2 servants invest and grow what they received, while the third hides his talent. The master praises the first 2 for their efforts but rebukes the third for not using his resources. This teaches us several key lessons. First, God wants us to actively use and grow our resources. Hiding or wasting what we have is not an option. Second, faithfulness is about how we use what we possess, not about having the same amount as others. Lastly, there are consequences for neglecting what God has entrusted to us. Our resources extend beyond money. They include our skills and connections, which should all be invested in God's kingdom. Another important parable is the parable of the Shrewd Manager. This story encourages us to be wise in using our resources. It reminds us to build relationships and invest in eternal outcomes rather than just temporary gains. Generosity and caring for those in need reflected God's heart and bring glory to Him. So, how can we apply these teachings to our lives? First, we should view all our possessions and income as gifts from God, meant for His purposes. Planning and managing our resources wisely helps avoid waste. We can use our money to support ministries, help others, and advance God's kingdom. Being generous and sharing with those in need reflects God's love. We should also develop our personal gifts and abilities to serve God and others. Preparing for the future responsibly while keeping an eternal perspective is essential. In essence, parables teach us that using resources for God's glory involves faithful stewardship marked by wise investment, generosity, accountability, and a focus on eternal impact. This aligns with our call as Christians to manage everything God entrusts to us in a way that honors Him and furthers His kingdom.